I don't know how to process what the hell I just watched. What the hell we all just experienced. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to process it. I don't know how to explain it. But it happens. It happens. It is what it is. The Flyers somehow managed to beat the Rangers in overtime by a score of 5-4 after probably one of the worst second periods I've ever watched. And this game was just the complete summary of the entire season. The complete summary. And I know a lot of games have been the complete summary of the entire season, but this one in particular, because the Flyers had a very good first period. Scored 2 goals, forechecking the Rangers, making them uncomfortable, getting a majority of the chances. Carter Hart making some saves. Second period, the complete 180. The complete opposite. Getting dominated over and over again, not getting a shot over halfway into the period. I think it was over halfway. Their first shot wasn't until the 13-minute mark of the second. That's how long it took for them to get a shot. It was that bad. Getting rolled over all over the ice, just allowing 3 goals. Somehow managed to be after that period tied. But you allowed them to get the goal early in the third period. You score, tie the game, and we'll get into what else happened in the third period later. But then you went in overtime after the Rangers had majority of the possession. Oh my God. There's just so much to talk about in this game. And I want to talk about, before I get into the negatives, because there are a lot of negatives in this game. A lot. I want to talk about the positives. I want to talk about the positives because we haven't been able to talk about positives lately. Just to break down, what a game for Claude Giroux. What a game for Jake Voracek, Sean Couturier, Joel Farabee. I wanted to say Carter Hart, but he made some great saves in this game. Yes, he made some great saves, and I'm not blaming any goal on Carter Hart. Maybe you could question the fourth goal, but majority, I don't blame any goal on Carter Hart, because so many breakdowns, defense getting beat, turnovers, getting left out to dry, basically. And I think Hart had a pretty decent game. I think he had a pretty decent game. But like I said, those other 4 people that I mentioned, G, Voracek, Coots, Farabee, amazing games out of all 4 of them. Just amazing. Claude Giroux, just when the game was getting out of hand, the way he was able to step up, especially in the later half of that second period and in the third period, the way he stepped up. Same thing with Jake Voracek. Sean Couturier, he was also a presence throughout the night, especially in that first period. Joel Farabee, flat out amazing. He continues to impress. Even JVR had himself a really good game. He saved a couple of things in the second period. I have no idea how the hell that happened, but JVR was playing goalie at this point. But, like, what a game for those guys. Like, those guys in particular played amazing. And I can't credit Claude Giroux enough for the way he stepped up at the end of that second period into the third period. Felt like he was carrying the team on his back, like he has been in previous years. And he did that a lot of years, and people don't give him enough credit. And people continue to say that he is the problem and that this team hasn't won a Stanley Cup. And the typical Claude Giroux haters. This guy does not deserve to be ridiculed for as much as he does. But man, he stepped up today. He stepped up big time tonight. And to continue with the positives, first period, insanely positive. And the Flyers, they get an early goal. And the Flyers, notoriously for the past so many games, they get down early. They allow goals in bunches. This game, different in the first period. Flyers jump on the board early. You got the first line out there, and the first line continues to play fantastic. Flyers break it out of their own zone. Coots in the neutral zone, passing it up ahead to Joel Farabee, who has Jacob Trouba pushing on him, and he finds an open James Van Riemsdyk for a breakaway. James Van Riemsdyk comes in, goes 5-hole past Kincaid, 1-0 Flyers. JVR gets another goal in the season, his 13th, and he continues to be great. Farabee continues to be great. Couturier continues to be great. And not that long after, the Flyers score off of a icing by the New York Rangers. Sean Couturier wins the faceoff, hands it back to Ivan Provorov, throws the biscuit onto the net, and Kincaid most likely screened here. The puck goes by him, and it's a 2-0 Flyers lead. So, wow, The Flyers, instead of allowing the other team to respond to them scoring, the Flyers scored 2 goals in bunches. And what is going on? And the Flyers continued to control the pace throughout the first period. The Rangers had their chances. It felt like they were getting a couple of breaks, and they felt like they were getting their legs at the end. But you still go up into the intermission, up 2-0. You did. The Flyers had a power play in the first period. Didn't do anything there. The Flyers also had to kill off a penalty as well. They killed it off. Penalty kill, and honestly, the power play too. The one thing I could say I forgot to mention in the positives, power play stepped up today too. It did. The power play stepped up big time. And also the penalty. The penalty kill did as well. And the Flyers, they go 2 for 5 on the power play. Penalty kill, they go 3 for 3. So special teams was in the Flyers' benefit today for once. And that's something we haven't been really able to say in the past stretch or the entire season at this point. So you go into the second period. And oh my god, the complete 180 just happens. I'm just like, how does this happen? The Rangers, they control the pace of the play throughout the entire period. And there were instances where, how should I say this? It was just, the refs were making some questionable calls as well. I'm not sure if this first one happened in the first period or during the second period, because the refs, especially on delay of game penalties where the puck was completely cleared out of the zone, they were not good on it. And I think this was in the second period, because Nate Prosser tries to get the puck out of the zone, it hits the netting completely out of the way, and the refs don't call a penalty. So you can get the Rangers barking and barking and barking, they don't get anything called. So, and something like that happened especially later in the game as well. But just the way the Rangers scored their goals, and the Rangers controlled the pace throughout, I would say, 15 minutes of the second period. 15 minutes. And the Flyers played terrible for those 15 minutes. Just can't get any pucks deep. For some reason, they forgot how to forecheck. And the Rangers, they killed us on the rush. They killed us on the rush in this game, especially on the first 2 goals. Well, I would say, honestly, all 3 goals were because of the rush. And the rush has also been a major issue for us. We can't defend the rush. And the first goal comes from a slap shot one-timer from Artemi Panarin. 2-1 lead there. And then not so long after, this is around 2.5 minutes, another rush. Panarin over the Colin Blackwell. 2-2 game. Defensive zone breakdowns, turnovers, we can't get anything going for us. It's the same mistakes that continue to happen. And they were in full throttle in this second period. The mistakes were in full throttle. And this third goal really bothers me. This third goal, how does this happen? Because for Shane Gostisbehere, and to get into some of the negatives, players that didn't have a good game, had a terrible game, honestly. Ghost had a really bad game, Sanheim had a terrible game, and Phil Myers had a terrible game. All 3 of those guys. And you could also say Nate Prosser because he was on the pairing with Ghost, but I would blame Ghost more than Prosser at this point, because in one shift for Gostisbehere, he allowed 2 people to beat him and get around him. It happened, I think, 3 times in this game, where he allowed people to easily beat him. Easily. And you got Julien Gauthier, and first, this play starts in the Rangers zone. Flyers, Michael Raffl, Oscar Lindblom, they try to get something going. I have no idea what Lindblom's doing here. He gets it on the forecheck and then forgets where the guy is, it looks like. And then it's Cheadle giving it up to Julien Gauthier, who just somehow powers his way through Gostisbehere. I have no idea what Gostisbehere is doing here. No idea whatsoever. Gets around him like it's nothing. Drives the net. Puts it by Carter Hart's 3-2. Just like that. In a span of, I think this was like 7 minutes, the Rangers went up 3-2. Just a terrible second period. Just a terrible 15 minutes. But then the Flyers, they got onto the power play. They did. Travis Konecny drew a high sticking penalty. And the Flyers managed to score off of this power play really quickly. A little bit of a different setup, too. You had G behind the net. You had Farabee on the left side. Jake handing it over to G behind the net, who hands it over to Farabee. And oh my god, this is a beautiful shot by Farabee. Beautiful. Top cheese, snipe, bar down. Beautiful. Beautiful shot by Joel Farabee in this. And also, there were Actually, this happens in the third period. I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. I was thinking about the Scott Lawton breakaway and stuff like that, but that was a little bit of in the third period, not the second period. But beautiful shot by Joel Farabee. And also, before the period ends, Claude Giroux coming into the zone, trying to make a play, gets hit. And then you got Nolan Patrick going after the guy who hit him. And Nolan Patrick's not ideally the guy you want doing that because of his injury history with his head. So in comes Jake Voracek to also protect Nolan Patrick at the same time. I love the guy. I love the boy stepping up for G. I do. I love him stepping up for the captain who got it, even though it wasn't a dirty hit. I do like that they tried to step up for Claude Giroux. I do. Not ideally having Nolan Patrick do that, though. I'm fine with Jake doing it. Not kind of fine with Nolan doing it, but I understand what he was trying to do there. He was trying to step up for his captain. And I can respect that. I can. Just not the ideal guy you want in that situation. Still. But Voracek and Nolan Patrick both get penalties. Same with the Ranger who was in the penalty as well. And Rangers get a power play at the end of the period. Flyers killed off the rest of the period, go into the intermission tied, and they actually kill off the penalty to start the third period. But breakdowns after the penalty kill happens. You're in the offensive zone, puck goes the other way, you lose a board battle, Sanheim Myers lose the board battle, and you somehow have Kevin Rooney wide open in the slot to shoot it through Carter Hart. And this was I think this was also, actually, I think Gossespierre was on the ice too. This was another situation where he allowed a player coming in on the rush to get around him. And in that ensuing play, the Flyers couldn't clear the puck out of the zone, and they lose a couple of board battles. And that's how the puck ends up in the slot for Rooney. So it's a 4-3 Rangers lead. But there were chances throughout this third period. There definitely were. Like I said, the Rangers, they took an early penalty too. They took an early penalty in this third period. And it was a high stick in the Claude Giroux. Double minor. At first it wasn't called. It took a little bit of a discussion between the refs and also a little bit of a review as well to make sure that it was actually a high sticking double minor penalty. And it was. Flyers. And actually too, the Rangers, and this time they got away with a delay of the game penalty. Another one where the refs didn't call it. And the linesman was immediately like, no, it got deflected out, but you can clearly see on the replay it touched nothing and it went completely out of play. So the refs missed 2 delay of game calls on both sides. The refs were just bad on both sides of the ice for both teams. The refs weren't good tonight. But hey, off that ensuing face-off from the non-call of the delay of the game, the same thing, the Claude Giroux line out there on the power play. And this beautiful setup, Provorov, the Jake Voracek, and you got G coming around the net. Voracek finds him on the cross crease, and G just manages to tap the biscuit in right behind Kincaid and ties the game at 4. What a goal by Claude Giroux. What a way to step up. That's his second point of the night, not 3 points. I want to say he had 3 points, but no, Claude Giroux had 2 points on the night. But then Michael Raffl takes a hooking penalty. The Rangers go to the power play. But also, and actually, no, this was before. I'm also getting ahead of myself again. The Lawton breakaway does happen on this penalty kill. Rangers try to dump it into the zone. G stops it in the middle of the Flyers defensive zone. Finds Scott Lawton, who's going up on a breakaway. He can't beat Kincaid 5-0 because Kincaid had his stick on the ice. So you're just like, ugh. That could have happened, and it didn't. Then Jake Voracek also, well, before that actually happens too, the Flyers get a power play late in this period in the final 5 minutes. And, you know, because this was something I saw entirely happening on this play setup. So, I'm not sure if the Voracek breakaway happened after or during this. I think it happened after, but before I get into the Voracek breakaway, because he didn't score in the breakaway, and there was a big chance for that to happen, but it didn't happen. So, Flyers are trying to push into the zone. Kevin Hayes is coming in. And then before that happens, you kind of think that Sean Couturier, he might have looked offside going into the zone, but the refs don't call it. They call it good. Flyers set up. And then you get passing plays, and you got Kevin Hayes wide open on the one-timer. Beats Kincaid, and you think it's a 5-4 Flyers lead, but wrong. It's reversed because the Rangers decided to challenge it for offside, and Couturier was offside. So the goal comes back. The Flyers did have a power play still in the ensuing minutes because technically they didn't score, so the power play didn't go away. Voracek had the breakaway, couldn't score. And you go to overtime, and oh my goodness, the Rangers play the overtime so boring. They do. Oh my god. They just piss. And I know 3-on-3 overtime is a possession game. They are so boring. But, like, yeah, the Flyers, they had guys out there for extended shifts. Couturier, Farabee, Provorov, they were out there for a long time. Hayes was out there for a long time. Voracek was out there for Sanheim was out there for a long time. Oh boy. And to talk about Travis Sanheim literally trying to bring the puck back into his own zone and literally does not have any idea that there's literally a guy behind him picking him up. And Sanheim gets board played in his own zone and he loses the puck. But thankfully, the Rangers had a miscommunication problem. Thank you, Keith Kincaid. The Flyers managed to clear the zone. And this is a play by Sanheim as well. He pokes the puck into the offensive zone. Kincaid tries to come out because the Flyers are making a change. So Kincaid is doing the right situation here. Tries to get the puck up quickly to Panarin. But who would have known that Jake Voracek wouldn't have gone off the ice? He continues the play. He pushes on that pass attempt by Kincaid. Takes the puck away from Panarin. Comes in. Gassed as hell. Dekes out Kincaid, gets the wide open net and buries it, and the Flyers win 5-4, and you see Jake just, after this play, just like, on his knees, just like, he was tired, and he still scored that goal. I'm just like, okay, for that shift by Voracek, everyone needs to buy him beers this week and dinner for a week, because that man hustled that entire shift, and he finished it off. He did. And that finishes off your game. And some stats, the Flyers did outshoot the Rangers 30-40, outbeat them in faceoffs, 2 for 5 on the power play, 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. It was very physical in this game. The Rangers had 29 hits, the Flyers had 17. Flyers had 13 block shots, the Rangers 4, and yes, turnovers were a major issue in this game. The Flyers had 7 giveaways, and the Rangers had 5 giveaways. So, like I said, same mistakes continue to happen. And also, I forgot to mention, too, from the Carter Hart saves as well. Carter Hart had some big-time saves in the second period, and in the third period, I have no idea how he stopped this puck on Chris Kreider. Just getting it with the toe! Hey, how does that happen? Rangers had literally, it felt like a 3-on-1 on their power play in the third period, and Carter Hart, I have no idea how he stops this with his toe. Carter Hart made some big saves in this game, I'm just like, huh? And then, like, there's also other times where, like, okay, I can understand why this guy doesn't have confidence, because the breakdowns and turnovers. He's being left out to dry. I understand why he has no confidence in his game. But hey, he made big saves in today's game, and that's all that matters. He made the saves when he needed to. And the Flyers come out with a win. So, Flyers got a 5-4 victory against the New York Rangers, and I want to look at the standings because I know Pittsburgh and Boston played each other today, and I think Pittsburgh won that game. So if we look at the standings currently, yeah, Flyers are still in 5th place in the Eastern Division, 14-93 with 31 points. Boston, they're in 4th place, so the Flyers are 1 point behind the Bruins with the same amount of games played with 26. Bruins are 14-8-4 with 32 points, so like I said, the Flyers are 1 point behind them. Flyers are 6 points behind the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are in 3rd place, 9 points behind Washington, who is in 2nd, and 11 points behind the Islanders, who are in 1st place. And the Islanders, oh my goodness, they have been winning a lot of games. The Islanders are on a 10-game point streak. They have won 9 straight. Pittsburgh's won 6 straight. Washington's won 5 straight. And yeah, the Bruins, they're happening to go on a little bit of a slump right now. So maybe that's in the Flyers' benefit if they try to win their next games, because you play the Rangers Wednesday, you play the Islanders Thursday and Saturday. Then I think you close out the month against... Wait, let me look at the schedule, because I am blanking. I am blanking who the Flyers play next week. I know this is going a little long, but I'm very curious who they play next week. Yeah, you play the Rangers this week. You play the Rangers again on Wednesday. Islanders Thursday, Saturday. Islanders on Monday, so you play the Islanders 3 times in a row. Play the Devils on Tuesday. Rangers on Thursday and Saturday. All 4 of those games next week are at home. Then you play Buffalo to close out the month. So basically, I just skipped an entire week, is what I'm saying now. So, like I said, this other part of the schedule, like the Pittsburgh and Washington set in the beginning of the month, was a tough schedule. This is going to be a very tough schedule for the Flyers. Playing the Rangers, you're playing the Rangers 3 more times. You're playing the Islanders 3 times, and then you have to play the Devils and the Sabres. I know the Devils and the Sabres, they're not good teams, but yeah, I know the Flyers have proven they've been able to beat the bad teams in this division. So, just got to find ways to get these points. And you got to find a way to put wins in bunches. Can't be win 1, lose 2, 3, or something like that. You got to go a couple of win streaks. Maybe you lose 1 here and there, but you got to get these wins in bunches. And the Flyers still have a lot of problems that they need to fix. And they still need to find that defenseman that can help them. And hopefully Chuck Fletcher is getting on the phone and calling people, because this team really needs that. They need something to fix. So, we're going to end it there. I know this video was a little bit longer than usual, even though it's probably only a couple minutes longer than usual, but whatsoever. So, what are your thoughts on this game, everyone? What are your thoughts on this Flyers win? Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section. As always, don't forget to drop a like on this video. Don't forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I am a part of. Their links will be in the description below. Don't forget to check out the Flyer Podcast merchandise website. That link will also be in the description below, and the link for Flyers and Nitty Gritty will also be in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Finally, I can sleep happy knowing that the Flyers won!